first game I ever recorded on my channel. The very first video I ever did was Elite Dangerous. And I've done a few bits kind of here or there, and I'm planning on doing a little bit more for you guys. As there's some new stuff basically added to the game, and I thought I'd kind of take this episode to just kind of reintroduce you guys and myself to the game a little bit and chat about it, and then kind of what I'm looking to do in this series and where we're looking to go and stuff like that. So in this episode I'm going to do a little bit of bounty hunting, because sometimes there can be little gaps in between finding ships. We're just going to take off here and get going straight away. So I'm in the Coriolis starport. I'm in what's called a vulture, which is kind of like I would call it a heavy fighter. So it's pretty small and manoeuvrable, as you can see. It's fast, but it's also got a hell of a kick to it with the weapons it can use. So it's a very cool, like, bounty hunting vessel. Can take on ships 3-4 times the size of it, basically. Make sure we move out of the way of that. And one of the things I'm trying to do is kind of get a bit more cash so that I can afford to buy. Okay, still Maslot. So I can afford to buy what's the new ship in the game called the Chieftain. We're just going to jump to super cruise speed here to get to the nav beacon, because that's a pretty good place to go bounty hunting. The Chieftain was introduced, it was only a few days ago now, from when I record this, as I should probably be facing the right way, really, shouldn't I? There we go. Yeah, it was released a few days ago. It's a really cool looking ship. I don't know if we'll get enough money this time. I've got enough money to buy it, but to outfit it, it's probably going to cost me like half of what the ship's worth over again. So the ship itself costs about 20 million credits. I have about 21, 22. But including in the cost of this ship, so I'd part exchange this if you like. But I need to get a few more to be able to outfit it with some decent stuff on it. So, for those of you who don't really know what Elite Dangerous is, it's a kind of sandbox space simulator kind of thing. It's one of the fondest games people really remember from the early days of PC gaming and like Commodores and Amigas and things like that. I think I first played it on a Commodore 64 when it looked very, very different to this. But the kind of general gist of the game was same then to as it is now, which is it's set many, many years in the future, like over 1,000 years in the future, I believe. And the general kind of gist of it is that do what you want. Do you want to be a smuggler? Do you want to be a trader? Do you want to be a bounty hunter? Do you want to do missions for the military? Do you want to be a slaver? Do you want to be a pirate? Like, what do you want to do? Because you can do it in this game. All to, with consequences and, all with varying degrees of, like, monetary gain and stuff like that. And this game came out a good few years ago now. I don't know how many, maybe like, I want to say 3. Might even be a little bit more. Let's just disengage here to get to this nav beacon, and then we can scan some ships and see if any of them are wanted. But it came out a while ago, and they've kind of keep updating it as it goes along. Made lots of changes. Look at that. We got ourselves a dolphin to take on. So this vulture is fitted with a pulse laser and a multi-cannon. I should probably use the multi-cannon because it shields it down. There we go. That's an easy 4,000. Okay. Usually bounties are worth a bit more, but that was a pretty easy one. Okay. He's an alliance enforcer, which means he won't be wanted. These guys might be as well. Most likely, they're probably scanning me to see if I'm wanted. If I was, they would attack me almost immediately. So we just got to kind of scan these guys and just see if another vulture. You usually get a pretty good idea from their name whether or not they're wanted. Sometimes they have like, you know, Death Lord is their name, and it's like, yeah, you're probably a pirate, aren't you? Anyway, that was a bit of excitement to begin with, but as I was saying, so in this game, yeah, you can do what you want basically, and the kind of, I guess, progression system is to make money. That's the idea. You make money, you get better ships, you know, you become, you know, I guess more difficult to kill within the system, and you can then make more money because of it. You know, like the more money you have, the more money you make. You know, because the better ship you've got and stuff like that. What's quite nice about the game is you can kind of trade your ship in pretty much for as much as you brought it, so you can play around with different ships and see what they're like. I said before, we're flying in the Vulture, which is a relatively new ship, although not that new. This Python would be a pretty good prize if this was wanted. No, he's clean. God damn him. Yeah, a Vulture is, you can actually, if I get the Vulture on the little screen to the left there, you can kind of see what it looks like a little bit. Let's go and actually go up to him, because then we'll be able to see what he looks like. My ship will look exactly the same as this guy. I haven't got a special paint job on it or anything like that, I don't believe. Let's just retract my hardpoint so he doesn't get all skittish on me. He won't attack me, most likely, but just trying to get up close to him. So that's kind of what I'm flying right now, that Vulture. See if there's any more out here. There's a hauler over there called Dak Vader. He's clean. God damn it, you clean bastards. I've had some reasonable success around here before, but it's a bit of a lottery on these nav beacons as to what you're going to get. Here we go. Like Vipers and things like that, they are like literally no threat to me in this thing. I will just absolutely destroy this thing, and I'm manoeuvrable enough to be able to keep him in you know, close enough range that he just doesn't really stand a chance, because the Vulture is very manoeuvrable. It's very fast, very manoeuvrable. Not quite as fast as, oops, shit, nearly took out another one. Not quite as fast and manoeuvrable as some ships, but for the firepower it packs, it is really good. And it's kind of like what I would call a mid-level tier. Like, so I think it costs, I can't remember how much it costs actually offhand, but certainly probably costs you about 18 million credits to fit one out, like to an A spec, what people would call A spec, and like as a result, it you could argue that for what you get, which is essentially just a bounty hunting vessel, it couldn't be used as a trading vessel or anything like that, nor a discovery vessel or anything like that. For what you get, you know, it's very like limited to one thing. I have been rocking an Asp Explorer as well, which is a really nice ship, and that is very multi-purpose. You can use it as a bounty hunting vessel, you could use it as a trader, you could use it as an explorer. Hello. Oh, these are in the wings. There's going to be 3 of these guys. But this is a Sidewinder, which is literally the worst vessel, the worst thing in the game. So I'm going to just absolutely destroy this guy before he even knows what hits him. Yeah, there we go. I told you. Like, he literally, yeah, I won't get a lot for it either. Are you daring to shoot at me, buddy? I love the Sidewinder though, he's so much fun to fly. So ships really do feel different, you know, compared to what you Imperial Courier, that would be worth a little bit more. Yeah, they really do feel different comparing to what you fly. You can see other people are kind of joining in here because there's going to be. Oh, is he trying to get away, you bastard? You're not getting away from me. Let's give him a little bit of a boost. There we go. There we go. So, I can't remember what I was saying now. That's the thing, I'm going to get a little bit distracted here because I am trying to just make some money. That's my primary thing. If I have a look here, so I've made 45,000 credits so far. Probably looking to make at least 500,000 before I go back. To be fair, it's not that unusual to find a ship which has a bounty of around about 100,000. It would probably be quite a tough ship to take out, but it's not unusual, as Tom Jones would say. Type 6 transport generally, yeah, I was going to say generally pretty clean. Fearless Court. I wonder. Anti-Phoenix, clean. Okay. The green ones are my allies, so they're the guys who are. What's that? Ooh, oh, I reckon this guy might be wanted. Yeah, he is. Let's try and give him. See, he's trying to like jump away, so I'm going to try and give him the old. Okay, yeah. Okay, he went. Unfortunately, yeah, he just. I guess he saw all the system vessels and just legged it. A federal dropship probably would have been about a 50,000 bounty there, so it's unfortunate. But yeah, so I'm actually using a flight stick here to control the ship, which is why you can see my movements are quite smooth, I guess. It's a HOTUS, which is like a throttle for one hand. It's a hands-on throttle and stick, I believe the HOTUS stands for. And it basically means in my left hand I've got my throttle, so I can power up, I can power down, as well as do a few other things. Like boost to get up to like our real top speed. I like to keep it in the blue because that gives you some good manoeuvrability, like your best manoeuvrability. And in my right hand I've got the stick which is controlling where we're going, not only like up, down, you know, and then rolling, but also like physically moving left, right when I twist the stick. And of course it's got all my triggers and things like that on it as well, so I've got everything I need in my hands right now, which might sound a bit weird because you usually do in video games, but like it's a lot easier to fly these ships when you have a stick. It's not cheap. I've got a Cytec X52, which is about I think you can get it for about £75 nowadays. But you know, if you're really into any sort of flight simulator games or you know Elite or anything like that, it is thoroughly recommended you get a stick, a HOTUS preferably, because they are really good. Okay, let's have a look at this guy. Sidewinders are like sandwiches for me, you know, you just snack on them, they're like little vol-au-vents. God, I didn't even see how close he was. Where is he? Okay. So I'm tracking him by using that radar in the middle there. This guy's like no threat whatsoever. But he's 3 credits. There we go. He should have a buddy here as well. It might be this adder. So he's only 1,000 credits. I'll spend more money than that. Just like putting ammo back in my multi-cannon, but it buys me a coffee, I guess. I'll just get his attention here. Adder's also not really a threat. It's pretty cool starter ship though. I do like the look of it as well. I had one of these for quite a while. It looks like kind of a space shuttle, but again, not much of a threat. See him explode because the explosion's There we go. There we go. Mark Fulbrook. What are you holding? How do you fools make a living? That guy's a bandit. Well, he's called Cursed Bandit, but yeah, look, they're attacking him already. Now, I can't attack him until I scan him and know he's wanted, otherwise I get a bounty. So, you know, you have to play the waiting game a little bit. But he's a vulture, and he's a competent vulture, so we might get a little bit here. Let's give him the old multi-cannon as well. His shield's nearly down. So the lasers are good against shields, and the multi-cannon's good against just hull armour. So the shields are down, which is the blue rings around the ship, and then we can just nail his hull with the multi-cannon, which is basically like a giant machine gun. And there we go. He's Mark Fulbrook is going to be no longer with us. 47,000. I'll take it. Shattered Stake. Let's see what Shattered Stake's got to offer. Yeah, I'm navigating using the compass in the middle. What's this guy up to? Oh, he's clean. Okay. I thought for sure he was going to be a bandit. So all those little like dots and things are, well, the yellow ones are ships, the green ones are my ally ships, with Thundering Force. The white ones are like cargo which has been dropped for salvage, but I don't waste my time with that. I think they're going to be clean as well. Yeah, they're in a wing. Federal dropship, eh? I used to fly a Federal dropship. It's like literally a space cow. It looks pretty cool there, but it does not fly very nicely at all. At all. Okay. Good thing is, like, when you have these like fellow bounty hunters around, is if something big does drop, then you know you're going to be able to take it on, because those guys will certainly like draw some of that aggro for you. But also it does mean that, oh hello, who's this guy? Diamond Creep. I got a feeling he might be wanted. God damn it, he's clean. So on the left hand side there you can kind of see me switching targets here using my joystick, and they're all clean at the minute. It's not what we like. We like everybody to be wanted, you know, big bounties on their heads. You can also see underneath their name it says, currently here for this vulture, dangerous. Okay, I haven't got any more at the minute. We're out of range, but that's their combat ranking. So it goes all the way up to I want to say master, but I'm not too sure. And I'm currently combat ranked expert, trade rank merchant, explorer rank surveyor, and I haven't done any close quarter combat, which is kind of like flying in very light fighters, kind of like an arcade kind of arena flight thing, which probably is quite good fun. I've just never ever tried it in itself. Okay, it's got a little bit quiet around here. The graphics on the game I absolutely adore. It's so nice. The lens flares you get, effects and things like that are incredible. There's the nav beacon. How much have we made so far? 99,000. Okay, still quite a way to go. I want to get a couple of million before I'm going to get the Chieftain. I'll definitely do a video when I get that. I don't think we'll earn enough this video probably to actually go out and purchase it. Oh, hello. Federal gunship. Now that would be a prize if that is wanted. And a master rating, so he will be tough. Oh shit, he's in a wing as well, so there's 3 of them. That's an ASP scout. Okay, I'm not going to take these guys on myself right away. I'm going to wait for someone to aggro them. Someone will attack them, I'm pretty sure of that. Because going against multiple opponents is tough, because they will get on your tail and like take other people on. See, they're scanning me there. But also, those ASP scouts are not that much to worry about. But this guy here, the federal gunship. That guy could be a little bit dangerous. So he's just going to kind of buzz off a little bit. Chances are at some point someone's going to attack them. They're going to be worth a lot, I'm telling you that now. I don't know if we can see how much they are. 36. He's 77. The other one's 36, so all in all there's a good, like, over 100,000 there. But for me to take them on my own, I could potentially do it, but it would be pretty difficult. If it was just that gunship on its own, I think I could take it because I'm way more manoeuvrable than it is. But I think this eagle might aggro. But the eagle won't stand a chance. Surely he knows that. I'm going to keep my eye on this guy. The eagle will get absolutely eaten up. But you never know. Sometimes people feel a bit dangerous, you know, a bit trigger happy. It's best sometimes to just wait it out a little bit. Because any damage to my ship I have to pay for, you know. And you know, the other side of things as well, for me to rebuy this ship if it gets destroyed would cost me around 1 million credits. So okay, someone's aggroed. Is it? I don't think it's me he's aggroed, but he definitely. Okay, time to take him on. Now he's dropped chaff, which is not allowing my gimbaled weapons to lock onto him, and now it is. Okay, I'm just going to give him like everything I've got. Okay, and we will turn way easier than he will. Now at the minute he doesn't seem to be attacking me, which is good. As soon as he does, I can drop some chaff on him. Okay, he is. We're okay at least spec if the other guys can keep those, like. Okay, his shields are offline. Yeah, he's getting hammered now by a lot of people, I think. So it's a good idea to wait. We'll just take him out like this. He's going to attack us a little bit. We can be able to like absorb the hits from our shields. We got pretty good shields, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay, there he is. Okay, careful not to like actually go into him at all. Shit, we actually bumped into him and that took our shields out. Okay. Right. Okay, and he's got his shields back up, so that was pretty bad for me because I need to drop some chaff. I need to get around on this guy, but he's so slow that... Oh shit. He's so slow that I just keep bumping into him the whole time. Okay, that's it. Let's get on his tail. So we're down to 89% on our hull, which is not good. Also, he might have just cracked our canopy a little bit. Which is not good. So we might have to go back and repair after this. It's totally my bad. I've done this very badly. That cracking, see, you can see my canopy's cracking. If that gets destroyed, then oh, it's annoying now. I can't get behind this guy. Put another thing into. Okay. It was that bump that did it. We were going okay up until then. I'm just gotta kind of go for him now. Can it be breached? Okay, so I've got 10 minutes to get back. I'm taking this guy down though, I'm telling you that much. I'm taking him down to Chinatown. I've got plenty of time to get back, don't worry about me. Oh great, shields are up. He's down to 17%. It's going to cost me a pretty penny to repair this. Incoming missile. Who the hell's shooting me with missiles? Okay, he's done. He is done. Okay, we need to get to the nearest place. So we now have our canopy breached, which means that obviously there's a giant hole there, as you can see. Not very good for me there, must say. Totally my fault for bumping into him, which took down our shields. Okay, now we're going to go back into Super Cruise, and we've got to get back to the space station within 8 minutes. Now, the problem we have is my heads-up display here doesn't work because it's gone, if you see. So I kind of have to use my knowledge and stuff like that to be able to get here. But honestly, 8 minutes is fine. We're going to be fine, guys, don't worry. As long as we don't get interdicted midway. And we're going back with 177,000, which is not bad. I'm a bit disappointed with how badly I did in that fight. Okay, we're probably going to go past this thing now, but that's totally fine. We got plenty of time to get there. I've upgraded my life support systems. Usually you only get 5 minutes, but I upgraded it so I get 10. So you know it's fine. Right, so we just kind of basically need to head this way. On the left you can see the distance and speed. Ideally you want them to be roughly in line. When they both hit the blue, that's when we drop out of Super Cruise. And okay, we can actually see it there coming up, but obviously it's not tagged because my windshield is blown. So yeah, we want distance and whatnot to be aligned, and speed to be aligned. Speed's now in the blue, so we're fine. And we just got to get a little bit closer, and it's there, that blue thing there, and then we will be able to drop out. So we can safely drop out now. There it is. And then we need to get up to this thing. And once we get within 7.5 kilometers, we can request a docking. And then we can make our way around a little bit better. See, I told you we had plenty of time. It was very, very poor of me though to allow that to happen. It was kind of a problem where I was almost a bit too fast for him. I probably needed to slow down a bit, but also just pretty poor on the whole. That's fine. Okay, which one are we docking at? 12. Okay. See, atmosphere restored. We're fine. Let's go down here and dock. Get some more. Get repaired. Get refueled. Get restocked. And we'll be there. There we go. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So only 8,000 to repair, which is not that bad. But let's redeem these vouchers. It's 177,000. We haven't got we can't get the hauler here. I'd have to go somewhere else. But again, I don't think I've got enough money. So you can see my my balance is 4.6 million. If I was to sell my ship currently, I would get 14.5. So I've got about 19 odd million. So I need to get a little bit more to be able to afford the Chieftain, which is a really nice looking ship. I really like the look of it, and yeah, I just really like the look of it. I think it's a pretty good ship. It's kind of a bounty hunting design ship, and that's kind of what I enjoy most in this game, really. One thing I will say is, from when I previously played Elite Dangerous, let's go back to the nav beacon. You're doing okay there, actually. It was pretty busy. When I previously played Elite Dangerous, the combat's definitely got harder. like the AI of the computer and stuff like that is much better. As you can see, our canopy is now fully intact again, and we are fully repaired. Let's go. Engage. So we can go back. Unfortunately, we didn't take out those 2 asps as well. I didn't think it was probably worth risking that. So we kind of lost out, I guess, on about 70 grand there, which is a bit sad. So yeah, I've got about 4.6. I think I could sell my ship in total for about, I think I've got about 20 million, and I want to get about 22 million, roughly, with the Chieftain before I'd feel comfortable, I think, picking it up. That wouldn't get me anywhere near the kind of A-rated Chieftain. That would probably cost me about 28, I think. But I'm impatient. The thing I like about Elite Dangerous is there's no shortcuts. Like in Star Citizen, you can just buy ships with real money. You can't do that in Elite. The only things you can buy are cosmetic items like paint jobs and like bobbleheads for inside your cockpit and stuff like that. So that's nice, you know, because you know anybody who's rocking around in like an Anaconda, which is probably the best ship in the game. They've done that through grafting, you know, through playing the game for a while, and doing it that way. So, yeah, that's kind of cool, I think. One of the things I'd also love to try out as well, and I don't think the Chieftain has a fighter bay, but you can get fighter bays which basically allow you to store a fighter in your ship, and you can hire pilots to either fly that or fly your main ship while you do the fighter piloting. When you pilot the fighter, it's done via kind of like a drone, so you're not actually in it. So if it gets destroyed, you don't die or anything like that, because they're obviously a lot flimsier than your main ship. But it's kind of a cool little feature, and they do like multi-cruise ships as well, where someone could be, say, using the weapons while you're flying and stuff like that, or doing all sorts, you know. It's pretty cool. That's mostly on some of the bigger ships. There isn't anything for like the Vulture I'm flying. It's very much a kind of single-seater heavy fighter. If you see this thing on the right hand side here, this distributes power to different systems. So who's he? He's a Vulture. Elmo Bojangles. Hi Elmo. Look at us face to face. He's clean. Let's see if I can actually see him. Oh no, he's going. See you later, Elmo. Right, let's have a scan of some of these guys. Reviana Priam is going to be clean, I think, in Hauler. Oh, they're gone already. Viper. With throttle, so as I said, if I keep it in that blue kind of area, that will give me the maximum available. I do not want him. That will give me the maximum available manoeuvrability. In other words, my turning speeds will be quicker. Diamondback Scout, they can sometimes be pirates, although it's pretty rare. Yeah, he's an Alliance Enforcer. I love the Diamondbacks. I think they're really cool ships, but they're incredibly weak. I guess for the level that I'm at, they're not really, I guess, depending where you are there. But they're really cool ships to fly. They're really fun. Oh, there's a Chieftain. Let's fly up to it and see if we can see it. I really love the look of the Chieftain. I like the name of it as well, being Chieftain. Okay, we're flying by it. To make sure I don't hit it. Let's come to a stop. There it is. So it's got these like 4 kind of like engines on like wings, I guess you would call them, which is really, really cool. He's scanning me now, I think, so he's checking up on me. Don't worry, buddy, I'm clean. But yeah, it's just a nice looking ship, I think. You can kind of see it. It's very cool. I guess the other things with Elite Dangerous in the minute. There's been some big changes in the fact that aliens are now in the game. So in the beginning there were no aliens, but in previous Elite games there have been aliens. I think they came along in First Encounter. I think there's an alien race called the Thargoids, and they're not nice either. But there's been this kind of like, I don't know, maybe a year long, if not more, like kind of like a teaser, I guess you would call it, of them. There's been these sightings, there's been like these special like planet discoveries and things like that you can find with them, and overall it's just been this really cool kind of like a whole kind of like community. God, probably don't want to do that just yet. Yeah, it's been this cool kind of like hold on, we'll have a drink. This community venture to kind of like discover more, and yeah, so they're kind of like here now, I guess you would say. So eventually at some point I want to go and try and find one. This guy's harmless, but he's wanted, so we're gonna destroy him pretty quickly. Eagles are very manoeuvrable and very fast. I think might even be the fastest in the game, but they're incredibly weak. I mean, look. They're a good cheap bounty hunting ship, but like, you do not want to be in a firefight with anybody. There we go. Okay, what, 2,000, something like that. 4,800, that's actually a lot more than I thought I was going to get. Man, I can't wait to get myself a Chieftain. The great thing about the Chieftain is that it sits at a price point where it's... one of the problems I had with the game was that once I got up to the kind of amount of money I had, there was a humongous leap to like the next ship up, which was kind of like the Fer de Lance or a Python, and it went from like, say, having 20 million credits to suddenly needing 40 million, and it's like, wow. Whereas all the way along there's been like kind of a ship to aim for that's within reach, and like that kind of put me off the game for a while, because one of the things I like is like trying out new ships, doing things, and they've always been a little bit slow. An Orca, by the way, is like a pleasure vessel. Let's go up to it and have a look at it, shall we? Let's get the engines to full blast. Yeah, I've always liked that kind of progression, and then when that's suddenly like, you're like, oh crap, I would actually really need to like wait a long time, and just, you know, playing regular amounts of the game to get to that next ship. It kind of puts you off a little bit, I think, and it put me off. But the Chieftain comes at that point where I'm like, yeah, you know, it's not gonna be a humongous. I should put my hard points away because that might be what's causing him to fly off. Yeah, it's not. So this is like a pleasure vessel. One of the things you can do is you can take passengers on flights and show them around, on like take them on tours of the galaxy and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the Chieftain hits a sweet spot for me where I'm like, yeah, I can actually achieve that, and it's a really cool looking ship, and it's actually a pretty good ship too. So I'm looking forward to that. That's kind of like got me interested in the game once again, and the whole kind of Thargoid thing, because I haven't played the game for probably over a year, so I've been kind of like, it's not that I'm not interested in the whole Thargoid thing or stuff like that, it's more a case of I've just been looking at it from afar, if that makes sense. Let's get back towards this nav beacon. One of the things I really love in this game is the sound effects. They are so good, and it's kind of weird because they shouldn't have sound effects because you're in space and there's no air, so there's no way for the sound to travel, but they sound so good you just have to forgive the game for that. Who are you? Oh, you just jumped. Okay, this guy's type 7, which is a transporter. I might just hang with him for a little bit because sometimes transporters tend to get attacked by pirates and stuff, so we'll just see. But we haven't had a lot of luck this time, have we, compared to last time? Might be time for me to move to a different system and try that out. The best area to go bounty hunting in is called a compromised nav beacon. So it's very similar to where we are now, but the nav beacon's been compromised to the point where it can't call the authorities, the police if you like, who are those enforcers. So they won't give you a hand. So basically, if you're going to take someone on, you're taking them on your own. And also there's usually a lot tougher, bigger ships there. You can make an absolute fortune at them, but you'll have some hard battles, and they're also quite rare to find as well. Okay, doesn't look like a lot's going on with him, so we'll head back towards the this nav beacon here. It's pretty quiet around here now, isn't it? Might just try and get a couple more kills, then head back and maybe call it a day there. We'll see what happens. There's some ships up here, haven't we? We're not within range of them yet. Just giving it a bit of a boost. Okay, we've got an eagle. No, we've got an anaconda. Oh shit. Anaconda's like the toughest ship in the game. I would not go anywhere near one of them on my own. Okay, he's clean. Yeah, anacondas are vicious. They are humongous as well. Let's see if we can't check out this guy a little bit. Okay, he's scanning us. They are immensely expensive. I'm talking like 150 million just for the ship, let alone buying all the stuff to upgrade it. But they are also like an absolute beast to take on. And if one of them was wanted, you would get a lot of money if you took it out. I have taken them out before, but only using like very scummy tactics. Hey, we got one. We got one. Okay, that's not it. That's it. Waffo. Okay, Waffo. Don't take you down. He's in a Viper Mark 3, which is kind of like a mid to light fighter. Not really a problem for me. As such, he's an expert pilot though, so he's going to probably be a bit tricky. Quite a fast fighter. There is a Mark 4 Viper. Oh shit! Don't get in the way of that thing. There is a Mark 4 fighter. I saw you shoot me, you arsehole. It's alright. I'd be surprised if he could make his way through my shields. Yeah, it's a Mark 4, which is slightly better, but still, I very much fancy my chances against this guy. You may notice that my weapons kind of like automatically lock on. That's because I'm using what's called a gimbaled weapon, so they will lock on and do that within a certain kind of area. You can get 34,000, fucking hell, that's a lot for that. You can get what are called fixed weapons, which literally just fire where you're aiming. They do more damage, so it does reward pilots who can aim. I don't trust myself enough to do that. And you can also get turreted weapons, which fire automatically as well. They're very useful on the bigger, slower ships, because it can be difficult sometimes to get Klimpke the Awesome-nator. I hope you're wanted. Oh, you're not. Damn, I wanted to take out the Awesome-nator. Sidewinder. Okay, Viper. Klimp the Awesome-nator. That's a really good name, I like it. Damn you clean vessels. So as I say, there's plenty of things you can do in this game if you don't want to just do bounty hunting. There are so many things. You can go mining in asteroid belts, try and make your money that way. Yeah, just like so many things you can do. I think bounty hunting is probably considered the like the fastest and easiest way to make money, especially if you manage to find a compromised nav beacon. They could be really good. It's like slim pickings at the minute. He's going off in a minute. He's going to go to light speed, as it were. There he goes. And the actual game area itself spans like pretty much the entirety of like the Milky Way galaxy, so it's absolutely huge. There is Earth in it as well, by the way, so I've been there in some ships. Aha! I wonder, this guy's name is Outlaw, for fuck's sake. He's clean. Why? Ah, this guy isn't though. If anybody scans you and says, do you have anything of value, they're a pirate. Of course you've got to wait for it to be confirmed. Hey buddy. Oh my god, I've absolutely wrecked him. Wow, that was quick. And that's why we only got 3,000, because he was not worth a lot. The suns do look amazing. There's always a slightly terrifying thing where whenever you jump to a new system, you always come out like facing the sun and quite close to it, and there's this always like a slightly frantic pull away from the sun. I guess because the gravity maybe like kind of pulls you towards it, but it's pretty cool. And this game in VR as well is awesome. It's absolutely terrifying, but awesome. These guys are all going to be clean because they're part of the same wing, yeah. Even Violent Angel. It's cool, you can name your ship as well, whatever you want. I haven't actually named mine anything, but I will do when I get my Chieftain. Oh, the dolphin went. Dolphins and orcas and things like that, they're usually pleasure vessels which don't, which is unlikely for them to be wanted, but I have come across a few which are probably like smugglers, you know, or something like that. Well, we really don't seem to be getting much luck or much action now. Clean. Oh, hello, type 9 heavy. Let's have a look. Robin, good fellow. He's not going to be wanted, is he? Not with a name like that, no. Rubicon Exile and a Type 7. Doubtful that he'll be wanted. He's elite. Oh, he is wanted. Hello. Type 7's like a transport vessel, so I fancy taking this guy on. Let's just say, what the hell. Catch him first. Let's just get our engine at full peak and we'll reel him in. I can't remember ever taking on a Type 7 before, so I've got like no idea what this is going to involve. He is an elite level pilot, so he will be tough. Whether or not his ship is, I don't know. Oh god, I pressed the wrong button. Panic. I was trying to get my chaff out. Chaff will like disrupt gimbaled weapons. If we can kind of keep under him like this. Shit, he hit me. God damn, these bastards are hitting me. I think I've got a shield cell, which we can use to just pump our shield up a little bit. Fucking guy's go proper trying to ram me, isn't he? Bloody hell. We've got another, like, problem like the, Right, let's try and slow, and then let's try and take him out. We're going to need probably a hand with him because he is built like a tank. I think we've got some system authority vessels coming in though, so they will give us a hand against this guy. Hopefully he's going to be worth a fair amount. Okay. I do not want to hit him. I repeat, I do not want to hit him. Oh, God damn you, Phil, for hitting that wrong button once more. It's not something I want to be getting in the habit of doing. Come on, reload multi-cannon, reload. Okay, we've got his shields offline. Okay. Oh, we're getting him now, aren't we? We are hammering him now. Goddamn multi-cannon recharging. Really would love to not press the wrong button every single time. That would be pretty good, okay. Don't want to get hit much more. His shield's recharging pretty fast as well, actually. So he's probably spec'd out, I think, even though he's in a what essentially is a trading vessel. Okay, he's gone, he's gone. Boom. Only 36,000. It's actually quite disappointing. Don't you worry about me, guys. Let's get back to the nav beacon. See, they'll scan you and they'll be like, oh, you're clear, Commander. See, they do have stuff on there, but I don't think there's much value to actually scavenging it. And I think you're not allowed to, so you get in trouble with the police if you do. Get in trouble with the Popo. Third Alarms, that's it's a pretty beefy ship. Oh, it's clean. Hauler, that is not a beefy ship. Yep, he's clean as well. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Liba. Now, and just check that there's nobody else. There's an eagle and a viper, and another viper. They're probably... oh, let's have a look at them. I can't resist. I was going to fly back and see Rachel Justice, whoever that is. They are 100% how do you fools make a living? You're in a viper. Shit. No, cancel. I tried to cancel that. Oh well. Probably wasn't worth too much. We're going to go back to Liba, dock, and then I'm going to finish up there. And what I might do is have a little fly around some systems off camera and try and find some good grounds and do a little bit. But next time, I think I'm certainly going to do a bit off camera and try and get to the point whereby I can pick up a Chieftain, and we'll have a little look at the outfitting side of it and what we can do. See what we can do. Okay. Flying way too fast. At least this time we actually have our HUD display. So if you do fly too fast, you go straight past those space stations. Just got to be a little bit patient, I guess, with it. But I mean, I guess we're doing okay. I guess we are doing okay for now. You can also fly down to planets as well. Only certain planets at the minute, but they are pretty cool. You can get like a little kind of buggy, which which you can race around in on the planets, and you can collect materials on the planets. You can do missions in your buggy. There's so many things to do in this game that really, you know, as long as you like the general gist of it, I'm sure you find something you like doing in it. Okay, going to be ready to drop out. There we go. Okay. Going in pretty fast into this. Okay, landing pad 4-4. Okay. Back in the original Elite, it was like near on impossible to dock. It's a lot easier in this one. You can still get docking computers if you have like a real, like, big of a ship to dock, but like they're generally not worth the money or time. Especially when you're flying something like this, which is quite manoeuvrable. Okay. There we go. Plop. Welcome to Liber Orbital. So just really need to restock and refuel, and then redeem our bounty. Not a lot, but we did okay. But thank you guys for watching this. As I said, next time we're going to try and get that Chieftain, and then we might even go and try and find some of the Thargoids, the aliens. But till then, thanks so much for watching. As always, been my pleasure, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.